said you're our most frequent flyer. I feel like every time we're out here at Pro Day, we always get you over here at the table.
It's definitely our third or fourth time for sure. There's been some good memories over here, man. It's a cool event.
Coach, appreciate you taking time to join us. First of all, what are your thoughts on what you've seen out here so far today? I saw the Gamecock football official Twitter account put up some reps that DQ had. I think 22 is what I counted, I think.
Yeah.
I know it's unofficial so far, but I think 22, which would have been the best number among all DBs, even at the combine, and then got some guys out here doing 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about what you've seen so far from some of your guys and what you thought.
It's always cool to get out here and watch our guys perform in a different setting. I think it's important for our guys to go through this kind of stuff. But DQ, if you don't know if his dad's walking around here somewhere, his dad's just as big as he is. So I'm not surprised at the 22. When DQ came here on a visit, me and T. Gray was like, oh, my God, this dude here, strongest we've ever seen for us coming out of high school. Watching our guys run, the big guys. We love seeing the big guys run, like Monkel and Brian Thomas. And obviously Brandon did a really good job. Former player out here named Ronnie Porter's out here getting a shot. Got to give Coach Beamer some love for letting our former players come back, hometown guy. So it's fun, man. Awesome.
Hey, we're talking about DQ, Nick Barrett out here today as well.
Yep.
And, you were talking to the media yesterday, and as those names are getting brought up, you're talking about getting emotional. And those are a couple guys that have stuck it out and been here their entire careers, which in today's world of college football is so rare. Well, what does it mean to you for those guys to have been here the entire time and now getting to see them get their opportunity to shine for the next level?
It's big time. I think I just saw Tonka Hemingway's out here too. We were just having that same exact conversation. It's hard to really coach, through a whole class, through a whole cycle of guys, but definitely seeing Nick is awesome, seeing those older guys, but times have definitely changed in football, but it means a ton that those guys will stick it through. It says a lot about our culture.
Yeah, Coach, thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely.
We talked about Nick Barrett. I want to continue talking about Nick Barrett.
Let's keep doing it, man.
He's a really good story of just working hard, getting better, improvement, development, however you want to word it. What does it say both about Nick Barrett and about South Carolina football that you're able to see someone go from kind of a career reserve to becoming an all-SEC talent?
No doubt, man. It says a lot about just who he is as a person. I think more important than as a player. He saw some things that he wanted to get better during the 2024 season, that he knew that 2025 will be his chance to not also be a good player, but also be a great leader. He has a natural leadership about him, and he kind of let some other guys walk out the door, and he was ready to, catch the door before it closed and keep that leadership going. He's outstanding. It means a ton. Just watching him continue to get better at his game, get a little bit more healthy. He has a couple knee scopes here and there, stuff like that, and he's cleaning stuff up. He's ready. He looked great. Gave himself a chance. Did a good job at the combine.
Let's talk a little bit about Brandon Cece. If you pay attention to a lot of the draft boards and projections, he might be the guy, or probably going to be the guy that's drafted highest. One thing that we know about him, he loves football. Like, y'all have called him a football junkie. He's called himself a football junkie, super high IQ guy. But what is it that stands out about him, whether it's the speed, the versatility? Like, what did you see in your 1 year with Brandon, and where do you see him going forward in the league?
Yes, I do believe, he's on the high end part of football IQ when it comes to defensive backs and just any football player. He's the only one of the two corners I can talk about all 22 players and what they're doing, and like the concept and the play is pretty impressive. I'm pretty sure some teams have caught on to that. The main thing I like about him was just his ability to be a cat cover guy, his anticipation on routes, his ability to cut off routes, his ability to stay with guys down the field. He has great rundown ability. Those are all the things that NFL guys look for, but very competitive at the point of attack as well.
Again, South Carolina defense coordinator Clayton White joining us here on the Garner Trust Hour live here at South Carolina's Pro Day. And as we talk about a guy like Brandon Cece, when you got him out of the transfer portal last year from NC State, what did you know about him from what his production was going to be, and how did that match what he ended up doing on the field for you guys this past year?
One thing we knew about Brandon, like I said, I'm a little connected to the NC State program. Their strength coach, me and him play linebacker side by side. Dan Thunder Burnett is his name. He's
great name.
Head strength coach. So once Brandon was in the portal, so I was able to reach out to him and get some intel on just how he was as a mover and all that kind of stuff. We needed that, but I do believe that his production and what he did for us, like the Alabama game, he did a really good job of covering those receivers out the slot and out of the on motions and stuff. He just did a really good job. Just proud of how he played. Wish he'd had a little bit more picks, but you can't always get them all. But he definitely lived up to what we thought he was going to be.
Yeah, Coach, another defensive back likely to be drafted pretty high, Jalen Kilgore. Versatile, right? He can do a lot of things. There's some of that with Cece as well. We saw last year Nicky Minwari get drafted high, asked to do a lot of things at the NFL level. How do you see, for specifically Jalen, but potentially Brandon too, how do you see their ability to do a lot positionally and assignment-wise helping them at the NFL level?
Yes. I will say Kilgore is coming out of high school. He was one of the top tacklers that I've ever seen that can come here and tackle at this level without really any coaching. He was a natural tackler. So that was the first thing me and T. Gray realized. And he had really nice hips and really greasy hips, really can move, really slick with everything as far as his movement skills. I do think that he is a positionless player. I mean, I've had teams obviously play nickel for us. He's a first and second down nickel at that level. He can cover most receivers at that level in the slot, but some of those guys are a little different. He can probably play corner. I've had that question asked. Can he play corner for us? This is from one of the 32 teams in the league. I think he would have been a big-time safety if he just played one more year. But very positionless, smooth, excited about what's going to happen. I mean, if I'm a team, I would take Kilgore and say, figure it out later. But he can play three spots.
Sure. That was one of the things I'd always – obviously, Jalen thrived in his role in your defense, but I did always want to see what he looked like at safety. I'm going to admit.
I know, man. So there's a play he made against Ole Miss. He got an interception versus Ole Miss this year, but there was a play where he was covering number two. Number two went and blocked the safety, and he triggered from 10 yards and it looked just like a safety. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, unfortunately, we had DQ and Nick and Peyton. Like there was no, and we didn't really have a true nickel behind him last year. So we couldn't really, you know what I mean? But it was a guy that was ready to play last year. So it was tough. I hate the fact we never. So when he goes to the NFL, they're gonna say, well, one of those guys that's why they never play him at safety? Well, trust me, we wanted to. Let's put it on paper. We were going to put him at safety.
How do you guys manage to find some of these long rangey defensive backs? We call it the Torian Gray special.
Yeah,
you guys always seem to find these kind of guys.
It's crazy you say that because that was one of those things that we both kind of were on that same page. And I mean, I recruited Jermaine Pratt. He was a start middle linebacker for the Bengals before D Knight took his spot. And he was a 6'3" safety. We had a couple of 6'3" guys at NC State. T. Gray always has big guys, but we kind of stick to our criteria to kind of what we're looking for. Like we'll take a Judge Collier and develop a Judge Collier over someone else that, we know that, size, we can't coach that. Like we know what we can and can't coach, but we love the size. We just feel like it's just more of a presence, more turnovers, like more physical. And obviously high point football is the main reason why you gravitate towards that.
It looks like you mentioned Judge, it seems like every year you guys have kind of a crop that goes to the league, and then there's kind of the next crop that comes up, whether it's Cam and Darius Rush and like all these guys that have developed. So how do you feel about where Judge is and where Vakari Swain is? Because it seems like those are kind of the next two up for this season.
They're the next two up. They are. Joe Kilgore is also a guy that he'd be one of those late bloomers, kind of be on the scene kind of guy this year as well. But from a production and Gamecock Nation wise, it's definitely Vakari's next, and so is Judge Collier. They're both next. I like where they are, and they're not where they need to be, and they know that. I think between myself, Torian, and Coach Bly coming into the building, just give them a little bit of extra little motivation to kind of prove us that they want to be the next ones, and that's how they've been taking it. Like they know right now that they're probably not ready, but they have it. I mean, they're both 6'1" plus. They're both tall. They're both can do some things in NFL like that.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking your time for us once again. Always enjoy having you on here. We're out here at Pro Day, and know it's a busy day for you. A lot of guys that are getting the opportunity to work out for the next level, and man, we can't wait for the season to come up here in the fall.
This was too fun, man. It's over with already?
It is. We have breaks we have to hit, unfortunately, but
I got you.
Appreciate your time as always, Coach.
Take care. Be good, brother.
Clayton White there, defense coordinator for South Carolina. We'll continue on more from Pro Day here on your Tuesday on the Game.
Appreciate it, fellas.